Hey everyone, I'm Tony, and today I'm going to show you how to build an AI assistant that can manage your Google Calendar for you using our platform, Leka.io. Super easy, and to show you how easy it is, I created a brand new workspace, has no projects, no connections, and I'm going to walk you through it. It'll only take a few minutes. So I'll go to the projects page, and I'm just going to create a new project. I'm going to call it AI Assistants. And go to top right, and we're going to add an agent to the project. I'm going to call it Calendar Helper. I'm going to skip the description, but just so you know, the description is really helpful if you have a multi-agent system, like an agent talking to another agent. In this case, I'm just using this one agent, so I'm going to skip it. Now the instructions. For this use case, I don't really need instructions, but because I'm not telling it like how to schedule things and how to think, but I'm just going to say you are Tony's Google Calendar Manager. And I'm going to say for context, Tony lives in Orem, Utah. And this, again, isn't necessary, but it helps so it kind of knows where I live. So if I ask for like a lunch appointment at the local Cafe Rio, it knows to select the Orem one. And also it'll know the time zone, which is also helpful. So we're gonna keep going. Knowledge. I'm not gonna give it any knowledge, but a use case would be you upload a list of your contacts. That way you say schedule something with Chase and it'll know his email, his phone number to add to add his email to an invite on the Google Calendar. You could also upload preferences, places you like to eat, places you meet, etc., etc. I'm going to skip that. Now we're on the Connections tab. I'm going to give it access to my Google Calendar, but I have no connections. So let's create one. I'm going to select Calendar, Google Calendar. I'm going to call it Google Calendar admin@leka.io. That's the email I'm going to connect to it. I'll skip the description. I could assign this connection to only be available within this project. I'll skip that too. Now click my email, allow. Okay, now it's created. Now I have to give this agent access to that connection. So enable connection, and I'm going to select that new one I just created. Perfect. Now this isn't enough. Just because it has access to the connection, it doesn't mean that the AI can do anything it wants with my Google Calendar. I have to essentially whitelist the tools it has access to. So in the Actions tab, I'm going to go to Enable Action. And now that I have that Google Calendar connection, we'll see Google Calendar actions that are available. So I'm going to give it the Create Event action. I'm also going to give it the Update Event and the I think that's it. Oh, also the Get Current Date. This one's really important because LLMs, like AI, just live in their own little box. They don't know what day it is today. They don't know anything. So by giving it access to this current date action from the date helper, it'll be able to know when you say tomorrow what tomorrow actually is. So very, very important to add that for any date related assistance. Perfect. So now workflows, we're not going to give it any workflows, no subagents. And you can tweak any of your LLM models over here. You can even add your own OpenAI key if you don't want to use the credits. Right now I'm on a paid tier, so I have more credits. But anyways, so let's save this guy. And now we see we have our AI agent with the Create Event, Update Event, and Get Current Date helper. Perfect. So now let's test it out. So let's pull up my calendar. And it's very empty. I have a lunch meeting tomorrow. So I'm going to say schedule a lunch meeting with, I'm going to put this email because, yeah, it's just my other email. For this Thursday at Tucanos. Okay, let's see it run its magic. Sweet. So now we can kind of see what happened. So it scheduled a meeting. Okay, so this is me. I said schedule a meeting. And then the calendar helper AI, the agent, used the date helper, and it used the get current date action I gave it. Obviously to get the current date, because I said this Thursday. And then it used the Google Calendar app, and it used the create event action, and then it gives me an update of what it did. So it said it successfully scheduled it for this Thursday at the Tucanos in Orem, Utah. See that? And just a little summary. Now, if I go to my calendar, we'll see tomorrow at 12, I have a meeting with Tony Ramirez, and it invited my Tony Ramirez email. So that is one use case. Now let's give it another tool. So let's see what else it can do. So I'm going to go to the actions, and I'm going to give it a list events action. So now I'm going to talk to it, and I'm going to say, when am I free for lunch this week? So it'll probably do the same thing. It'll use that new tool I gave it, or that new action, to search my calendar. So it used the date helper to figure out what the current date is, and then it used the list events action I just gave it. And we can actually look at the details. So if I click on details over here, this is more for debugging. That's why it looks a little more ugly. But if we open the input tab and we open this config value, these are the properties that the AI entered. So it entered the primary calendar. This is the connection ID, which you gave it when you configured the AI agent. The end date. The end date is the 7th, and today is the 1st of October, and then the start date is the 1st. So when I said this week, it did this week. It did today to the end of the 7th, which is awesome. It looked for a maximum of 20 events happening between those dates, and then it ordered by start time. So the AI did all this. You didn't have to configure this at all. The AI can just, from the message you give it, it's able to kind of figure out how to make this request using this tool. And then the output was just my two events, my calendar events. Anyways, I'm not going to go into that. But using that data, now it's going to tell me I have lunch with Ross tomorrow, and then I have a lunch with Tony Ramirez on Thursday. And my available dates are these. So then it says, do you want to schedule one of these? I'm going to say, yeah, do a lunch on the 5th. Or, yeah, do a lunch on the 5th by myself. I don't really want to worry about anybody else. And then maybe here it's going to ask me, where do you want to go? I guess it didn't. So now if we go to my calendar, solo lunch on the 5th, and it's just me. So that's basically how you build it. I built that in just a few minutes, and I was talking a lot. So if I would have just gone in and done this, it probably would have taken 2 minutes. Now, you might be thinking, why the heck would I do this? Why would I type this out instead of just going to my Google Calendar and adding it myself? Right. And that's a very good question, because you're right. Why would I message it? The thing is, you can plug this AI into your entire workflow. So we'll go back to the project I created, and we're going to create a workflow. And now you can integrate any of these apps, and we're adding more apps every week. But you can set it on a recurring schedule. You can integrate it with a webhook if you're using Zapier or some other automation tool. So in this case, we could do something like Slack, right? And I can now connect it to my Slack account. So if I go, I'm not going to do it right now, but I could connect it to my Slack account, and I could say, whenever I message something in the calendar channel, forward that data to I go to AI, message agent, I select my calendar helper, forward that message to my calendar helper. So now I can use my phone on Slack, and I can message, hey, schedule something for tomorrow. Schedule something for this week. Boom, enter. And then the AI agent will just go and execute everything it'll use its instructions. It'll use all the tools you gave it to do the whole workflow you're asking. Yes, scheduling calendar events is a pretty easy thing to do. But imagine I told it to schedule, imagine I gave my AI agent also access to my Gmail. So it'll schedule the events, and then it'll also send event summary via email to all the participants, and then I'll also add that to my to-do list. I don't know. You get the point though. So you can basically connect your automations to your AI agents. So I hope you got some value out of this video. If you're interested in using our platform, just go to Leka.io, and there's a free tier. So like everything I did here would have been free until you run out of AI credits. So then you can just add your OpenAI key, or you can upgrade and get more credits. So thanks for watching.